Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome finally to the Maestro's DLC for EA WRC. Yes, we're back today. A massive thank you first of all to EA for providing me with early access to the new content. They did send me out a code for free, so yeah, technically this video is sponsored by them. But yeah, I apologise for the lack of content that went up at the end of last week because yeah, I got access to this, so I've been very busy trying to get ahead on all of the recordings. Of course, if you didn't watch our kind of live reaction to the initial trailer, go back, do so. Obviously, we've got technically 12 new stages between Monte Carlo and Portugal, and I believe 6 new cars as well inside the game. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to diving in with this. Of course, we're going to dive in today, first of all, with the Monte Carlo stages. So if we head in, you can see we've got obviously no new Rally 1 cars or anything like that. I believe the first one we've got is a new subcategory inside the 2017 to 2021 class. They've split them up now. So obviously we've got the new Citroen C3 WRC there. We've got the Citroen DS3 WRC and the Polo in the Royal Rally 2012 to 2016 class. And then we've got the Zara WRC car as well, a little bit further down the order. Then further on, we have got as well the Citroen C2 R2 Max, and then we have also got, I think there's one more hiding somewhere as well, down the list. There we go, the Zara kit car as well, which actually is the car I'm going to be using for today's video. Monte Carlo, I think we're going to do it, you know what, we'll do it in the summertime, because I'm so used to trying to do it in the ice at the moment as well. But if we head on, you can see we've now got 13, 14 and so on stages, 18 stages here in Monte Carlo. So if I wanted to do another endurance league, I could do that even longer as well. But yeah, today we're going to dive in, we're going to do stage 13 and then we are going to do stage 14 back the other way. So it kind of gives you the full run of the Bronsonet stage. I'm probably completely butchering the name, and for that I apologise. But yeah, if you enjoy, please do make sure, like I said, you get yourself subbed. There's going to be plenty of content coming out this week. We're going to be trying out all the new stages, all the new cars, and we want to try and hit 4K subs as well here on the channel. But yeah, let's get out there. Well, here we are, the Zara kit car. It looks absolutely stunning. All the cars inside this game, I think, are modelled beautifully as well. But yeah, obviously, new Monte Carlo stages. Oh, listen to that. Listen to that. I've missed the sound of these cars in this game. Well, there we go. Lights out and away we go. So obviously, if you weren't aware, the kit cars, I believe, are all front-wheel drive inside this game. I would assume it's, yeah, 6-speed gearbox as well in these cars. But yeah, these F2 kit cars were brilliant back in the late 90s and early 2000s. In fact, on the tarmac rallies, they actually weren't that much slower than the official WRC cars, obviously, of the generation, which was kind of the end of Group A. So yeah, certainly was kind of a wild time. When is it not a wild time, though, in the World Rally Championship? But yeah, obviously, you know, new Monaco stages, so I'm going to be taking it a little bit easier. Probably comes at a very good time, though, because I feel like now I know all of the Monte Carlo rally inside this game. And obviously, last weekend, we got to enjoy the real-life Monte Carlo rally as well. I am recording this before any of that has started, though, so I could not comment on what's happened in the event. But immediately looks like we're getting some new pace notes as well. You can just see on the top there, actually giving us some proper slaloms and twisty calls as we make our way up the hill. But, I mean, yeah, all of the stages, I think, on this game, up close, look beautiful. A little bit further away. Luckily, I think we've got damage disabled. That could have been quite bad. But, I mean, this feels like a proper wild ride as we make our way up kind of through. I don't know where we're heading to. I know there's a few hairpins later on, but I don't know whether we're heading towards sort of a town or something like that on this stage or what's going on. I've tried to limit my research, and just so you know, we can kind of come in and see what these stages are like as well there. But it almost feels similar to the section of road in the Central European Rally that you kind of wind through before you head into that town. Of course, both of them tarmac rallies. You know, they try and utilize the elevation to the best of their abilities as well, but yeah, just trying to take things fairly easy. You know, don't want to have too many big crashes on our first ever run through this new section of road. But yeah, there's some rumours that we're gonna see a new EA WRC at the end of the year. You know, I can't comment on that. I don't know any more than you guys do, but I'm loving finally the addition of some new stages inside this game. Like I said, it was really feeling like, especially, you know, your Monte Carlos, your Croatias, things like that, the rallies that you do quite often, it was really starting to get a little bit stale, starting to kind of, you know, exactly where you're going on all of them. There's still, you know, a lot of rally inside this game, but, you know, we were never really sure if this was going to be an option until they announced with the first DLC that the second one would obviously feature the FAF stage in Portugal, which, yes, I will be making a video on that tomorrow. So definitely, again, get yourself subscribed. As we make our way, though, through these hairpins, this is brilliant fun. I mean, these F2 kit cars are something a little bit different to what I normally drive on this game. I don't mind the front-wheel drives, but apparently as well, I'm going to have to make a video on that, they apparently have made the rear-wheel drive cars a bit more easy to manage now. So, yeah, definitely going to have to see what that's like as well, and how that'll kind of affect things with setups and things like that inside the game. But, I mean, yeah, this looks beautiful at the moment. You know, it feels like Monte Carlo. That's the most important thing. Of course, if we were doing this in the winter, I'm sure, you know, the hills would be covered in snow and everything like that as well, which is, you know, always nice. It really kind of gives you the proper atmosphere here. But the fact that you've got the option, you know, to do it in all of the seasons as well, with all of the weather conditions, I think is such a cool feature there. Is careful on that wall. It would appear that you can go over the top of that wall, and I really don't want to do that at the moment. But of course, yes, some of you guys were commenting as well on the original video, you know, going, oh, they've added all these load cars, but there's no mention of load inside the game. I would assume that's licensing. Maybe, I mean, it could date all the way back to Sebastian Loeb Rally Evo. You know, the cars are the important bit. As much as I think Loeb is the WRC GOAT and everything like that, you know, the cars, the content is the important bit. Like, would I love a Sebastian Loeb DLC at some point? Of course I would. But, you know, they're trying to bring this to a fully kind of fledged rally sim. You know, they're trying to recapture what made Dirt Rally and Dirt Rally 2.0 so popular, and adding this kind of content is so important to that. You know, I would quite happily pay £20–30 a year. Like, I think obviously this DLC pack is $8.99, I want to say. I would quite happily pay, you know, for 3 DLC a year at that price, where we're getting more stages, where we're getting more content for the game. And especially, obviously, if you buy them all, you know, bundled together, it is, I personally think, because I play this game a lot, very good value for money. When all is said and done there, and, you know, just gives you a bit more diversity. How clubs are going to operate, with some of the sections being DLC and others not, is, you know, certainly going to be interesting. Maybe some people, yeah, will start feeling a little bit left out, because ultimately, you know, they will do, I mean, it's cheaper a lot of the time to buy the game again with all the DLC than it is just to buy the DLC, which is quite funny. Obviously, if you're on Steam, you can get away with that. I don't know whether you can on Xbox and PlayStation, but yeah, if you want to buy the DLC, you can buy, I believe, what's called EA Sports WRC 2024, and that comes with all of the 3 packs. You know, the one we've already had, this one, and the one we get, the Hard Chargers pack, in, well, hopefully a couple of months' time. So yeah, that's worth something considering as well, if you want to dive into the game. But I mean, yeah, this feels, it's not quite as scary as some of the other sections. It feels a little bit more wide open in some places. Of course, as soon as I say that, we head straight towards a barrier. I think the big thing, of course, as always, is, you know, where will the ice be and things like that. But it feels very Monte Carlo-y, and it looks, you know, it runs perfectly, it looks good. I'm definitely going to be doing some runs around here. I'm tempted to set up, and I might well have done by the time this video goes live, on the normal Matt212 Rally Club. I will set up like a rally this week here on the 6 new stages, and then a rally next week on the 6 new Portugal stages as well. But I mean, yeah, you've got some really fast sections of road. The Citroen as well is, you know, handling it all absolutely perfectly. You know, it's a very, very fun car to drive. And you know, I miss Citroen's involvement in the WRC. That used to be so cool. You know, I think it was just, you know, it was all, you know, like this pack is paying homage to. It was all about the French drivers and the French teams. You know, still in more recent years, you know, it has been a lot about the French. You know, Seb Ogier didn't stop winning world titles until very recently. You know, and then you kind of got your Thierry Neuvilles, your Kalle Rovanperas, your Roy Tanacs as well, that are kind of, you know, have released that French stranglehold that we've seen in recent times as well. But yeah, in terms of the overall length though of this stage, it's very, very good. You know, we're getting, it's 6 stages, really it's 1 stage, and then obviously the reverse of that long stage, and then it's split in half, so you get 2 more, and then obviously the 2 more reverse stages. So, you know, I'm still happy, you know, it's a very, very detailed run of asphalt as well, which is obviously the most important bit. You know, it's a rally sim at the end of the day. You don't want thousands of miles of road you're never going to learn. You'd rather have, you know, slightly smaller sections that you feel like with time you'd have a good chance with as well there. But we're almost at the end then of this run. Got to be careful of the rocks there on the inside. Oh, a little bit heavy on the way out, but in through the final couple of corners then. Ooh, where are we going? That way we go through. You know what? For a very first ever run round here, sub 9 minutes, I think I'm going to take it there, and happy with that time as well. I think that is the longest kind of section you can do of the road there. But yeah, there we go. That's a PB. I mean, there won't be anybody on the leaderboard, and we're top. That's the most important bit. The first person ever to go sub 9 minutes. Here on the new French stage as well. So go beat my time on the leaderboard. But anyway, we'll get it set up. We'll do the run the other way. Maybe I'll even do it in a different car. Well, here we are then. We're going to go back the other way. This time round in the Citroen DS3. Yes, I love these cars. I think they're so, so cool. Fun fact, my mum actually had one. Not one of these, sadly. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this though. This thing, yeah, is kind of one of my first proper memories of a rally car as well. I remember kind of the C4 before it, I guess, but yeah, this was kind of the first one I properly sort of remember watching the WRC, you know, with inside this series as well. 300 brake horsepower, obviously 4-wheel drive this time around, so yeah, feeling a bit more similar to modern spec cars. But again, obviously, well, I've left it in the sunny conditions. I could have done the rain or something like that. But I was also interested to see kind of what the pace difference was going to be like between these 2 cars while in the same conditions there. So we might try and push on a little bit more this time round, just see if we can get a good run out of the car as well there. But, you know, there's only one way to kind of learn all these new stages for me, and that is, of course, by usually ending up having a bit of an accident, to be honest. That's often the best way I learn. Where to be careful on this game is, I've driven off that cliff before from time to time there, but I mean, yeah, it sounds good. It sounds like a lot of the kind of more modern cars on this game, but then again, you know, a lot of them were all built kind of to the same specification and things like that, especially what it actually sounds like is a Rally 2 car. But again, you think it's pretty much at exactly the same specification as a modern Rally 2 car. You know, Rally 2 cars now are basically what Rally 1 cars were 10 years ago, maybe with a little bit less downforce and things like that. But yeah, I'll probably do like a full comparison video between this, the all-new Polo, and the, I think is it a Ford, I want to say? I can't remember what the third car is now in kind of this new rally class. So, you know, we'll probably do a video on that at some point, just kind of comparing them, seeing which one's best and things like that. I want to kind of do more, you know, nitty-gritty in this game. As I've said before, I want to do setups. I want to do more of these comparisons all that kind of thing, which hopefully would be good fun as well there. And kind of, you know, if this game is going to be around long term, you know, will give us a good development base as well, you know, for people that are coming to the game further on down the line there. But yeah, this run though, the one the other way I think was 14.2 kilometers. This run is only 13.7. So it is a little bit shorter, so we should expect the lap times, or the stage times even, I should say, sorry, to be a little bit quicker. But hey, it feels good. It feels stable. That's the most important thing. You know, it feels like it wants to be driven. It wants to be rallied. You know, that's kind of half a battle. Well, with a rally car is, you know, it's the horrible ones that don't feel like they want to work with you on this game. They're the ones I really struggle with, which there's certainly a few of them as well there. But, you know, yeah, this thing feels like you can really just absolutely drive it. And that is, you know, the most important factor inside this game sometimes. So we make our way then up the hill. I mean, obviously, yeah, we've got... I like the fact this one as well isn't just up and down. Or up, sorry, one way and down the other. There is a little bit more kind of elevation diversity, if you will. You know, you get a few peaks and crests and things like that, which is quite good fun. You know, obviously, the other sections of Monte Carlo all just kind of based on one area. You know, and kind of, well, Monte Carlo, of course, actually was one of the few that was 2 areas on this game, but it was all just up a hill, down the other side. This one, yeah, it does feel a little bit kind of different as well. You know, it's probably why they did, you know, they picked the stages they did early on, you know, because they probably were a little bit easier to kind of model in and everything like that. You know, and now they've tried to kind of push the boundaries a little bit more with this game. And I think if you can make stages like this, you know, they really can do any of them, can't they? I'd love to be able to do like a full-on WRC calendar, you know, with all the stages at some point in the game. I think that would be so much fun to do. An absolutely massive challenge, but would be quite fun at the end of the day. As you're going through, yeah, I mean, some of these sections, you're picking up the speed, but just praying that you know what's coming up. The co-driver, he feels pretty accurate actually here. I know there's some examples on this game where the co-driver will tell you one thing and you just know it's completely different. Almost guess wrong where I was trying to go there. So make our way through. Yeah, this section feels really, really narrow. Great for the fans. You get to see a fair chunk of the cars, whoa, through that section as I almost throw it off the side of that wall. Those low-hanging walls, yeah, got to be so careful with. In a couple of spots as well there, but I mean, yeah, this thing, it feels so responsive at the front end, but not. I know there's a couple of cars on this game that the front end almost feels too pointed. This thing feels really, really well balanced for the most part. You know, even then, if I've overshot it on the brakes, you know, it still wants to kind of dive in and recover itself as best as it can there. I love the addition as well of those rocks on the side. You know, there's quite a few examples, mainly on Rally Mediterranean. Whoa! Didn't like that rock on the inside. Might have jinxed myself there slightly. But like I was going to say, you know, there was quite a few here, and Mediterranean, I think, was kind of the worst culprit for it. Where, you know, they were there, but they were just textures. They weren't actual, like, they didn't have a collision hitbox and things like that. That was always a little bit awkward, but these ones, I mean, every single one of those rocks, it's there, it feels like at the moment, which I think is a really, really good thing. You know exactly what you're aiming for. It's not about practicing over and over and over to try and work out what you can get away with and what you can't. But, I mean, yeah, both these cars so far, though, feel really, really good fun. So, yeah, I think this last section is probably going to be quite high speed. See, down the hill towards the end. But like I said, you know, it feels beautifully modelled. It's exactly what you'd expect in that regard. You know, I do think this game, like I said, up close is stunning. If you look further afield, there are, you know, certainly some bits that aren't so great, but, you know, you're meant to be focusing on the road. I'm always there kind of going, I feel like there's too much emphasis nowadays from too many games that are just focused on the graphics. You know, you look at iRacing, for example, they're not entirely focused on the graphics, and it's the game everybody plays all the time. The problem is, obviously, it's just reviewers that are only interested, you know, in what the games look like rather than how they feel. How should the cars respond? And I feel like, you know, EA coders, they've developed a good balance for this game there, as that feels scary, kind of going up over the top. There's some much bigger hills around, but that's kind of unknown. Didn't quite know what we're heading for there. This would be a good place to test out maximum speed of cars. We've almost got up towards the red line. Oh, skimmed the barrier there. Oh, no. I knew that was going to happen at some point. I wanted to send it through as best as I could, but I mean, this section of road is... You nail this on a proper run. If you're going to be committed, that'll be fantastic to watch. Do see still occasionally people upload like world record runs on this game, and they are always mighty impressive there. I mean, look at that. I was adamant I was way too late on the brakes there, but this thing just gets slowed down. You know, we don't have to deal with the hybrid that weighing it down in these cars. I'm looking forward to when obviously we get the new, hopefully we get the new WRC cars on this game as well without the hybrid at some point. As there we go, 8:23, so that is much quicker than we went the other way around. Like I said, it is a slightly shorter stage. We're also in a much, much quicker car as well there. But Monte Carlo, these new stages are an absolute roller coaster. Thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, there's going to be plenty of videos coming out this week. I might even do the new Portugal stages later on today. Like I said, get yourself subbed if you're new. We're trying to hit 4K here at the moment on the Rally channel and having so much fun with it. You know, since I've come back from my travels, the support here has just been absolutely mind-blowing. But yeah, I guess we'll be back very soon with more DLC content. Tell me down below what you guys want to see. I'm going to be covering it all, though, because, yeah, this is fantastic.